Today we are taking a look at a very big star. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous with Down to Earth Astronomy and to another episode of Worth a Visit. Today I've moved around 500 light years away from Sol to a star known as Betelgeuse. Now the reason why I've gone out here is because this star is one of the biggest stars in the galaxy. Not the biggest, but one of the biggest. And the reason why I find this particularly interesting is because this star actually exists. This is a real star that is out there in the Milky Way right now. Now, this star is the 9th brightest star in the night sky. Even though it's quite far away from us, it's still very bright. It actually has a luminosity 140,000 times the luminosity of the sun. So you would have to have 140,000 stars sitting next to each other, or suns sitting next to each other, to produce the same amount of light that comes off this star, even though it's colder than the sun. And that's of course due to the immense size of this thing, that it has so much surface area where it can send out all this light. Now, just to give you guys an idea for the size of this thing, if this thing was in the solar system, it would completely engulf Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. They would all be within the star at this point. And again, just for a comparison, here is a shot of the star from 7,000 light seconds out. And here we have a shot of the sun from 7,000 light seconds out. Just as a comparison, Betelgeuse and the sun. These two things are, not even comparable in size. Now, another interesting thing is, this star is very, very young, and it's already actually at the end of its life, but it's still very young. It's only 10 million years old, which you might think is a lot, but for a star, that's not really a lot. And the reason why that is because previously, this star would have been an O-class star. It would have been a big, heavy blue star with, I think, around 15 solar masses. Now it's down to, I think, 11-ish, 12, 11, something like that, solar masses, because of course burned off some of the fuel, so just burned off 4 solar masses of fuel. And these blue stars, as this was when it was young, would be known as a rock. We call them rock stars in astrophysics, because they live a very short and very violent life, and then they go out with a big bang. And this is what's going to happen here. Now, this star was, again, when it was in its main sequence, and if you don't know what that is, if you look at this, this is an HR diagram. This is a thing we use in astrophysics to determine the where a star is in its life. We can then look at, from the spectrum of the star, we can determine its temperature, and from the amount of light, the intensity of the light, we can then get the luminosity of the star. When we have those two, we can then look at this diagram, and we can then determine where in its life cycle this star is. For instance, if you look at Betelgeuse, this would be classified, the spectrum would be classified as an M-class star, but its luminosity is several orders of magnitude. Notice both of these axes are logarithmic, so every time you go up one ticker, you go up a factor of 10 on the luminosity scale here. So these are immensely bright compared to M-class stars. They're not even comparable. So, very bright, but still have the spectrum of M-class. So that tells that this is on the supergiant branch, because the diagonal line you see in the diagram here, that's the main sequence. This is where stars live most of their life, as they're burning their helium in the core. But as they run out of helium, the core will begin to collapse, and the outer layers will be expelled, expanding the star, making it bigger. Of course, as it gets bigger, the surface area also gets bigger, so the star cools down, the surface temperature cools down. That's why you then get this reddening of the star spectrum, and the star looks more and more red as it comes to the end of its life. Now, in about 1 million years, Betelgeuse will go supernova and explode. Now, I'm not really sure. It's definitely going to be visible from Earth, and I'm not sure exactly how bright it will be, but I will expect it to be somewhat comparable, at least, to a full moon. So we'll just have a new star that will be as bright as the full moon, and it will be there for a couple of weeks maybe, and then it will be gone. Unfortunately, there's not really any of us that will be around at that point, because at least I'm not expecting to be here in 1 million years. But again, I just think it's very interesting to get out and see a star like this, because I'm thinking that this massive is actually out there in the galaxy just amazes me. So if you're heading out this way anyway, I would definitely suggest that you head out and just visit Betelgeuse, just because it's absolutely worth a visit. Now, as always, I'm gonna give you guys a montage of the star and of some of the planets in the system. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a like down below and consider subscribing to the channel. And until next time, I will see you guys in space.